Winnipeg, behind the lines.
We practice
Like the summer hunt.
like the WCT.
Like the Winnipeg Victorious playing for the Stanley Cup.
Not Dan.
Practice the creeping barrage.
Oh, not the creeping barrage.
And 1, 2, 3, glide. No, too fast.
I'm trying,
You
Captain.
want to get killed by your own barrage, Private?
No, sir.
You want that rainstorm of fire, that curtain of hot steel falling on your head?
No, sir.
You want it raining on the Hun's head. You want Fritz pinned to his trench by that barrage while you make your way across no man's land with your bayonet up. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And don't get ahead of yourself. Exactly 100 yards every 3 minutes.
Yes, Captain.
And 1, 2,
Welcome back to Midday. We're here at the Sagebrush Theatre, where we are getting a sneak peek into this absolutely captivating show called Vimy, Western Canada Theatre's latest production. And it is absolutely striking. A striking drama is essentially how you could describe this. We are joined by the WCT's artistic director and director of Vimy, James McDonald. James, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And we also have the only woman in this show joining us, Lucy McNulty. Thanks for being here, Lucy. And we're talking a little bit about what this show is. So I feel like this is one that's really a timely show to put on at this time of the year, James. Maybe just take us through what Vimy really is about.
Well, we did program it because we're approaching the 100th anniversary of the end of the First World War, which will be this November 11th. So it seemed timely in that way. It's also unfortunately timely as a reminder that when conflicts happen in the world, they're often fought by young people. There's a young woman in the show. There's 5 young men in the show. And I like to think of the fact that remembrance is not just about poppies and names and music. It's also about remembering these people had lives. They had full relationships. They were young. They're full of life. And the tragedy of war is really that these people who are so full of life end up going off and fighting and often dying as well.
It really puts a face to Remembrance Day. And again, like you say, not just laying a wreath, which is of course important, but not just doing that and just doing the action of it, actually putting a face to what war was really about.
Yeah, and we like to, always with live theater, the wonderful, unique thing about live theater is that it really allows you to experience something. You're not just observing something, you're not just reading about it or hearing about it. You go through the experience with these people, and this is a fantastic play. It's a wonderful experiential play that you really go through a lot with these characters, and the emotions that you experience and the fact that you experience with an audience in a live theater is really, really a one-of-a-kind experience for an audience.
You, Indian! Yes, sir! Back home, you do any, trapping?
And Lucy, I know you're playing the part of Claire, who is the only woman in this show. Tell us a little bit about your character. Who is Claire?
Claire is the nurse in the hospital. So the play takes place before, during, and after the Battle of Vimy Ridge. And Claire is nursing these soldiers back to health. So the clip that you just saw is them kind of recounting what it was actually like leading up to the battle and then the battle itself.
We noticed that you were sort of out in the peripheral for that scene. Tell us a little bit about sort of what that meant. Why were you sort of just walking around and observing what was going on?
Black line.
Red line.
Blue line.
Brown.
We know it.
We know it already.
We know it! Do it again!
Well, Claire is searching for someone, and so the soldiers that are in the hospital and recovering, they're telling her their experience of Vimy Ridge, and she's hoping that there's going to be clues. So they're telling the story to her, but she wasn't a part of the battle, right? So she's sitting outside of it and just getting as much information as she can.
What's it like being the only woman in the play?
It's great. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun. It's a pretty special company.
Is this the first time you have been with Western Canada Theatre?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And James, what are you hoping that the audience takes away from this? We talked a little bit, of course, about the timing of this and the fact that Remembrance Day is not far away. But what are you hoping that people of Kamloops that come to this show are really going to take away?
Well, I think that there's a tendency when people think about drama, they go, oh, I don't want to see that, it's sad, or I don't want to see that, it's going to be depressing. I actually find this play to be quite uplifting. I do find it moving. These guys know me. I'm a real gooball when it comes. I'm a big softie when it comes to. I'm probably going to weep right now, but it is one of those things that, you know, as I say, live theater is about being moved by something, and I find this play really special because I think it really is an opportunity for us to. These are all based on real people. You know, every character in the show is based on a real person, so you know, it was a reminder of a really important historical event for us. It's a great cross section of people. You saw in the clip there. There's a French character, there's an Indigenous character, and all these characters are real life people who are being put on the stage. So they get an idea of the history of the people who are actually involved in the battle. Claire's a real person. But even more than that, it's when I did this show before in Edmonton 11 years ago in a very different production, the impact that it had on people who, you know, the catharsis of people crying in the audience and, you know, being really, it's a gripping story. It's an adventurous story. It's a romantic story. It's got all these different elements to it that I think people will be pleasantly surprised. They might think, oh, this is a dry historical story. It's not at all. It's super adventurous. There's some humor in it. You know, it's got all sorts of elements that I think will be surprising to people. And I can pretty much guarantee that people will be moved by the experience as well.
1 week to 0!
The week of suffering.
Not for us.
For Fritz.
We blast them
Day and night.
night and day.
1 million rounds.
1 million rounds. Never seen before. Not even at the Somme. Biggest fireworks display in the world.
Those cannons, they're the hungry ones.
Destroy as much as we can before 0 day.
Lucy, would you say that there's some emotion in your character when you're really getting into that part?
Yes, absolutely. I feel really lucky to get to play Claire because she does, as James said, there's like a huge range of emotions or of storytelling for her. She falls in love. She experiences really tremendous loss. You know, so there. The play does go to those deep places, and but it feels safe with this group of people. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for joining us, and I think this will be one that resonates with everyone who comes to see it. I think it'll definitely be a production that does very well. So we really appreciate your time. So Vimy is open, of course, now until October 20th, playing here at the Sagebrush Theatre, and you can get tickets at Kamloops Live box office. We're right back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.
Hey yo, if it's the Dookie, it's Pamokanan. Na gay gaki masanan.
What are you doing?
Take the needle, pull it through the skin under your knee, rip off a piece of flesh. Ugh!
What the?
Dukanan, it's the Dookie, Gamadani. Some pray to God. Me? I pray to the sun. Pray the fight won't take more than the skin on my knee.
Words in.
What?
Tomorrow. 0 day.